y'all, welcome to my channel. My name is Belle. If you've never been here before, welcome. And if it's your time back, hey, don't think anybody is here who has seen my videos before because I only have like 3 fans, like my mom, my dog, and like maybe my cat on a good day. But hey, thanks for clicking my video. Today I wanted to talk about sleep paralysis. To start this video, I wanted to give you guys kind of like my abridged version of what sleep paralysis is. Definitely not the dictionary definition. And then I'll just kind of explain to you how I realized I had sleep paralysis. So, from my experience, sleep paralysis is like when your brain wakes up before your body's ready to. So when you wake up, your brain's supposed to send off a certain chemical, which wakes up your body, and then you wake up, everything works, you can move, you're good. That's the normal way to wake up. But when sleep paralysis happens, your brain wakes up and it doesn't send the chemical to your body in time. So you're conscious, you can like look around, but you can't move your body. And it's really scary. It really induces panic, which I think is why a lot of people hallucinate when they have sleep paralysis. I have hallucinated. I don't do every single time, but I don't get sleep paralysis all that often, to be quite honest. It's happened like maybe like 5 times in my life, which I'm okay with that. I don't need it to happen any more times than it wants to happen. I get enough crazy, scary nightmares. Like, I wake up like fucking screaming in the middle of the night. Ass, like wild banshee, like crazy person. So my boyfriend really loves me. I'm sure he doesn't get annoyed at me at all. But anyways, let me explain how I found out I had sleep paralysis. So I was about like 10 years old, and a little background story. Super embarrassing, but like my mom would sleep with me until I fell asleep. Until I was like 9, like way too old for my mom to be there. But I was so afraid of the dark and so afraid of the night. When this happened, I was just waking up, opened my eyes up, and I was looking around, and I was like trying to get my body up and get out of bed, but it was like a dead stop. Like I could not lift a single muscle and get out of bed. And so I tried to like scream, but my tongue and my mouth wouldn't even move, and like the vibrations wouldn't go through my throat. For some reason, I don't know why this happened. I don't know if it's just me or other people too. But when I get sleep paralysis, it's really hard for me to keep my eyes open. They want to like flutter shut and they would close. Super afraid of the dark, so I would just be totally conscious in the dark, unable to move, felt like a vegetable. It was very, very scary. After that happened, I researched my symptoms online and I found out it was called sleep paralysis. I watched a ton of videos on YouTube, and that brings you here today. Oh, side note, when I searched my symptoms, one of the first things to pop up was a picture of a girl with a demon sitting on top of her and explaining that sleep paralysis is actually demonic possession. Do you know how bad that fucks up a 10-year-old? Like, I was thoroughly quaking. I was terrified. But let me get into the meat of the story, like why you guys are actually here, the really creepy experience that's like terrifying and demonic and like gross. So my room's super messy, no big deal, but as a kid I would always fall asleep with my fucking closet doors open because I had so many clothes everywhere because I'm a messy, gross ass kid. So I remember one night I woke up like out of nowhere. I don't know what woke me up, but I was awake. And as soon as I woke up and I was like looking around, I tried to like move my body. I could not. I felt like I was glued down to the mattress. Nothing was moving. I realized, this is probably sleep paralysis. It's okay. Just calm down. Everything's gonna be okay. Which was like fine. Like I told myself that at first and it like made me a little less panicked. But then I started hallucinating and I was thoroughly shook. I looked into my closet and staring back at me were these glowing red eyes. It was like a long figure, but it didn't really have like a strict outline. It was kind of like, how do I explain this? It was kind of like smoke, like very thick throughout the middle, but at the edges it kind of just like, it was just kind of like slightly opaque. So you couldn't really make an outline, but it was definitely long and like it kind of bulged where the shoulders would be. So you could tell it was like a tall man. And he just had these glowing red eyes staring at me. And that's all I could see on his face. And it felt like they were like piercing through my soul. Like he was looking at my heart and who I am and my future and everything about me. And so it scared me so bad. I tried to close my eyes and like tell myself he wasn't there. But then something just told me I have to open my eyes. And when I did, worst mistake ever, because he was at the foot of my bed staring at me. I didn't see him move or anything. I just closed my eyes, opened them again, and he was closer. And again, he wasn't moving. He was just staring there like that. fucking no, no thank you, no ghosties, not today. I love my life, I love Jesus, bye. But he was just there staring at me, and his eyes were glowing bigger and bigger. And so I tried to move. I was trying so hard to get up, but I could not move a single muscle. I couldn't stop him from like staring at me. I was just there. I felt so fucking helpless. So I tried to open my mouth and I tried to scream, but no words would come out. It was more like just whispers that would come out of my throat, but hardly anything to like alert anyone. I wanted to scream for my mom because I'm a fucking 12-year-old, but I couldn't. Um, so all I could do was either sit there and wait with my eyes open or close my eyes and told myself it was going to end soon. So I tried to close my eyes again. And once again, something told me I had to open my eyes. And when I did, he wasn't at the foot of my bed, but I felt this pressure over me. I felt like hands pushing down at the edge of my bed and crawling up onto my body. I felt it on my legs and then my upper thighs and my stomach and my chest. And it was just sitting there so heavy on my chest, but I couldn't see anything. And then I tried to lift my head up, but I couldn't even get my neck up. And so I could only look around like this. I was staring like at the ceiling and I was freaking out at this point. I was trying to say the Lord's Prayer, but each time I muttered a word, my voice would get like even more quiet. My voice was so raspy, like I felt like my throat was being clenched. Every word would just be softer and softer and softer. And by the time I got to amen, I couldn't even say it. It was a whisper. I closed my eyes again. I opened them up, and I just see those fucking red glowing eyes about this close to my face. Holy shit. Scariest thing of my life. Why does my brain do this? No fucking thank you. But those eyes just kept getting bigger and bigger, and I was staring so deeply into them, and I felt like I could see myself staring into them. And so I tried to say, "My Lord is my Savior." And as I said those words, again, in the raspiest, smallest, little squeaky voice ever, he dissipated, and he was completely gone. He just kind of like started fading away, and his eyes were the last thing to fade away. But as soon as he faded away, the pressure came off like all at once. It wasn't like slow, it was just gone. And then I was able to sit up, which I did immediately. And like I looked all around and I was scared and everything, but I realized it was sleep paralysis pretty early on. I wanted to get up to like go grab a water bottle and like calm myself down and maybe like go hug my mom and like fucking pet my dog and tell everyone I love them. You know, the typical things people do when they think they're like about to be demonically possessed. But I didn't because I was too afraid to. So I just went back to bed. But before I did, that's kind of weird, but my mom grew up in a very, very superstitious culture. And so she shared some of her superstitions with me as a kid. And one of the things she'd always tell me to do was after I had a nightmare to flip my pillow over. And that worked so well for me as a kid because after I started doing that, I wouldn't have, nightmares over and over again in the same night and keep waking myself up and losing sleep over it. So I did that and I didn't have any more nightmares the rest of the night. I woke up, I was totally fine, but thoroughly freaked out. So maybe if one of you guys experienced that, you should just try flipping your pillow. I know that sounds really dumb, and it is really dumb because it's not based in science or logic at all. Not even in the slightest. So I hope you guys really like my video. I'm sorry if it seems kind of rushed, but I'm kind of awkward and like new to this. So hopefully you guys like appreciate that and see that I'm growing, I'm trying my best. But if you guys have any experiences with sleep paralysis, I would love for you guys to tell me about it in the comments below. Or just like about sleep disorders or nightmares or anything in general, because I just think that's so interesting. I would love to get into a conversation with you guys about it. I'd love to see discussion amongst you guys and try to like pop into it. It's so fascinating to me. And if you guys would like to hear any more stories about like nightmares or anything, I have a ton of them. And a lot of them are like featuring demonic possession, ghosts, evil things, spirits. I don't know, maybe they have meaning, maybe they don't. But if you guys want to talk about it, I can talk about it more with you guys. Anyways, I really love you guys. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.